G'day to you peeps, Liesl here once more. Yeah, and today I'm here to catch us all up on one or two of the finer points of our latest build and rebuild, I should say, because we are coming today with these two projects that are on the go, one of which is our moped resonator build, yeah, which I do have here. Stains and colours, and the Gemma, which I invented, instrument rebuild. Yeah, and well, quite a session it's been, so yes, less from me and straight on. I'm coming from my bedroom today because you can't move in the Groove Lounge. No, it's got guitars and bits, sorting out all the boxes to go into store. And so let's move on swiftly on. I probably should put on my bins actually, my binoculars, my specs. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So here we go. That's better. Okay, so straight away, first off, here we have the moped. Now, I've fitted the resonator, but I do think that I need to seal it a bit better. Shout out to Busker 909. If you're not subscribed to Busker 909, that's Busker 909. Let me get it right. Do so. There are some excellent tutorials on there, not only on building but how to play these instruments. Now, I will get onto how to play these instruments pretty soon. But there are other cigar box luthiers who are probably a bit better than me, I don't mind admitting, and I would suggest that you really do check out Busker. Yeah, because he simplifies a lot of things. He puts all the tab up there, and he puts in a lot of work to his channel. So thanks Busker 909. Just wanted to shout you out on that. As it was watching your license plate build that got me interested in resonator instruments in the first place. Now, Busker has built a beautiful license plate guitar. If you just check that out on his channel, it's a very simplified build. Yeah, he does go through the pitfalls, etc. So yeah, there's just a little plug for you, Busker, because I think you well deserve it, mate. Yeah, so there you go. But moving swiftly on, I used a massive hole cutter basically to cut the bit out the back, and I left a little bit of space front and back. I made a fairly good job of it. It has been sealed with epoxy resin. I may still screw this down as well, but I don't know yet. It's pretty well sealed because, as Busker did say, if it's not, you can get a lot of buzz. Yeah, and I'm hoping this one won't buzz. He suggested lining it with tape. Now, I think that's an excellent idea. The only reason I didn't do that on this really was because there wasn't a lot of space to do it, yeah. So I've relied on the epoxy. I'll probably seal it from the back also, and I might just go in on the edges. You can see they've got a little bit scuffed up there. But I like that because this is the moped and it's vintage. 1963, yes. So we'll have to use our imagination there. And it does resemble a London bus. Hoping to get one or two little trinkets to go on here, just to kind of emphasise our build. You'll see that in due course, yeah. So there it is. Obviously there's the whole body with our Blackbird Crow box. Pretty plain on the back. I cleaned all the stickerage, etc. from off of there. So there it is, and here is the neck blank. So we have the neck blank, as you would have seen me build many times. That's the basic. So we've got the neck and the heel, which will eventually slot in like this, with the tail piece at the end, where we're going to have the mounts for the strings at the back. So we're going to use grommets as usual. It'll be a 3-string instrument as usual. I've built 1 or 2 4-string guitars, but they weren't all that. I don't know what it is with me and 4-string guitars. I prefer 3-string ones anyway. I've got very long-winded reasons for that, which I won't talk about in this video because we'll be here all day. Yeah. So there it is anyway. You can sort of do the guesswork and see how that's going to fit. And I can demonstrate that anyway because we're going to move on to Gemma in a minute. But before we do, here is our lovely turmeric stained fingerboard. And I think you can see the beautiful tones. Now I did think of adding another layer to make it even more yellow, and I'll probably use a little bit of clear at the end just to give it a bit of shine, but I don't know because I quite like this. Now to give you some sort of comparison, here's one that's simply been teed, so you can see the difference. And I'll be moving on to other colours very soon. I've just got to collect all the ingredients. Now I did buy some pickled beetroot. Ugh, I can't stand beetroot. There's not many things I don't like. I like most food really. There's a lot of things I can't have anymore because of medical reasons. Yes, I'm a moment to behave myself at the moment because I've had a few medical problems, but it's nothing serious, so don't worry. No, not at all. You can see the difference. I do quite like the fact that it's sort of less blonde here and more blonde here, and how that's really brought out the deep grain. And all that's had is 2 layers of tea and 1 layer of turmeric, and this has had 2 layers of tea. So that gives us a bit of an idea. If you sort of tilt it a little bit, tilt it, hopefully we can see the nice shiny, contrast, shall I say. Indeed. Yeah, so that'll go on there. Yeah, and at some point we'll shape the neck. This is going to be a fretless, so yeah, that's about it really for that. Obviously it needs cleaning up, sanding down a bit, leveling off a little bit. We'll fit some supports to go into the bottom of the box, and yeah, hopefully job's a good one. So moving on to my beloved Gemma, and here she is. She's had a few transformations. Oh, she has, yeah. Let me show you. Okay, right, as we know, we were going to use the long Monte Cristo box. In fact, do bear with me 1 second. As usual, I've got to dip off a camera. I won't be a sec. Here we go. We were going to use this box, which is very long. You can see, in true Liesl style, right? You can see that yellow with the coffee underneath has brought out a lot of nice yellow tones, kind of very red, pinkish tones. If we had better light, I could really show you, but again, that's only a couple of layers of each. Tea, a bit of coffee. You do get some nice pinks then. And we will continue, as you may have seen on the previous video on Cigar Boxing Day Part 1, which was our haul from the UK. We got some very nice unstained boxes. So I'm going to gather all the ingredients and we're going to go again, because I think we can get a much nicer result, as this one had already been stained a bit when I first started out with it. It's a lovely box, and I think I will go back to my original plan for this box, which is something of a backpacker. Something you can get into a backpack, take around with you. Most of them fit into a violin case actually. If you've got a violin case, they're ideal. I keep my diddly bows, right? If I take them out, I take them out in a violin case. I've got one and it's just the perfect size really. Yeah, they generally fit. But anyway, I'm waffling, so we were going to use this. The reason I changed my mind is because of the scale length, because this box is very long. and the scale length on Gemma is 25.5 because I measured her against the standard guitar. Yeah. It's an electric guitar. Yeah, so it's 25.5 inch scale length. I did, if you remember way back, get the 12th fret a little bit out. I still don't think it's perfect, but she is my prototype. These are cigar box instruments, and she does sound ruddy beautiful, if you ask me. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, and I thought basically, because she has got such a long neck, the bridge would be like pretty near the center of the box, which is fine. You know, there's no problem there. But I wanted a bit more wiggle room because I like to, sorry, this end, I like to have the bridge quite far back. Just personal preference, really. Yeah, I've got big hands. I've got long fingers, as you can see. Very long, alien type fingers. So I like to have a lot of room to strum up and down. So there it is. So I did kind of ask Spirit, the universe, God, which box shall I use? And this one presented itself, which is my beautiful Cohiba Blue box. Now, I was going to save this for a 3-string guitar, but no, we're going to use this one for Gemma. And I'll show you what we're going to do, right? So, starting off with the body, I've cut the slot in the front. That will be leveled up nicely. You can see there's a bit of a gap, right, if I place the neck in there, okay. A bit of a gap here. The reason for that is we're going to introduce these little supports on the side, just to make something of a pocket. It will probably come about that far out, just to make something of a pocket, so to speak. If I can do this without dropping everything. Which I do find when you've got a short heel like this, stock, it's good just to have something there to keep it level. Yeah, because this is not a straight through instrument. It's going to fit like that. Now I had to cut the resonator bit off a little bit short. It was just practicality, really. Yeah. So that's what I did. But this nice raised lid fits nicely on there. And if I can grab it, I'm not sure I can really. Okay, it'll be upside down, but there you go. So let's get it right, shall we, Liesl? It's been a long week already. Anyway, there it is. So we'll have something like this. And the bridge is going to be about there where my fingers are, roughly, etc. As you can see, she's a bit scuffed up because I've been sanding her. Like I said, we fitted a whole new stock, and I've done a little bit of shaping at the front there, which you can see. Just started to round it off a bit. It's had one layer of tea, so you can see the grain. Needs sanding. She's had a little bit of filing. There's a little hole there, as this was scrap wood. Now that doesn't matter at all really, but we will fill that with Carpenter's Fairy Dust and Wood Glue, or Wood Glue and Man Glitter, which we are going to use to fill this. I will show you that in the next video, okay, as I've promised it a million times. It's pretty straightforward, but I just find you get a really good result, and it costs you nothing, doesn't it, to do that, you know. Could use epoxy resin if you like, brilliant stuff. But we'll do that as a demonstration, yeah. And that's that. Talking of a homemade wood filler, you can see it's a bit scrappy at the moment, but previously we did gouge the corner on the fingerboard. Now I've filled it with the homemade wood filler, the wood glue and man glitter. Yeah, and I've got to trim the frets because basically I've set those in place with epoxy resin. Yeah, which is often the way with homespun instruments. Yeah, yeah, you might either like that idea or you might not. Either way is fine, okay. This is Gemma. But I was quite pleased with the result because when it goes putty-like when it dries, and then you can actually squash it. So I've got a pretty straight edge on there. We can always go in with more if we have to. And I left it uncoloured so you can see. So I'm quite pleased with that. I was about 0.5 millimetre out on that fret. So I measured it against Hemingway. There we go. Yep, so that's been done. I need to file a bit on the fingerboard actually, or sand it. I'm going to go along the edges that way just to make sure the frets are all nice and flat, but I'm still waiting for these to dry. Yes, so yeah, we'll do that at a later stage. Redo a little glide because it's got a bit scratched. You can see I've used 2 wooden pegs to really secure that into the heel. The rest I've kept pretty much as per original. I did not want to change it around too much, but I think we will have a nice sound from this one. It's quite a nice box. There's a certain amount of compressed cardboard material in the lid. The rest of it's wood. So I think we'll get a pretty good sound. I've not decided yet quite on how we shall have the sound hole. I don't know if to go with one big round one, which I probably will, or to do a few grommet ones, but I think I'm probably going to go with a round one. I didn't want to lose too much of this logo, you see, because I do like it. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it'll either have a round sound hole or it'll have a row, top and bottom, I think. Yeah, it's slightly offset. It was 3.5 inches to here, and then it was 3 3/4 or something. I often like to have the bottom part a little bit deeper than the top. It absolutely doesn't matter. You may prefer different ways. You may prefer deeper at the top. You might like it dead central. Any of that is fine. Yeah, do forgive me. I thought I was going to sneeze then. Bear with me 1 second. Didn't want to sneeze on camera, okay. So there it is. Yep, there's the body, the Gemma. Yep. There's a moped bus, well on the way. It's going to have something fancy on the back, this one. Hopefully, if it all works out anyway. Yep. I took the hinges out. I might replace them, I don't know yet. I'm going to see how it goes in conjunction with the rest of the build. Cut the slot at the front, cut the slot at the back, which I think will probably fit really nicely between these 2 hinge joints. Yeah, on first examination. And yeah, we will continue with that one, obviously, and then fit the bridge and everything like that. And we'll see what we get. Yeah, I've never done anything like this, so I haven't got a clue personally. No, but I'm hoping it's going to work out all right. Okay. Let's hope so, Pete. Yeah, so looking around the room, I think that's just about everything covered for now. Yeah, so I will leave it there. And as always, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. Oh, and whatever life brings, eh? Keep building. Alright then, peeps. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. Bye.